By looking into that aspect more, you can explain some of the patterns that you are seeing better.
Yeah.
It is basically something that sort of you can interpret this way or that way. Overall, I excellent.
Thank you. I will look at it. If there's no more questions, let's give the floor a big hand. And we welcome Anjita for the presentation. Thank you.
Very good morning to you all. We all are very proud that India is one of the richest biodiversity countries in the world. With its two biodiversity hotspots, the Western Ghats and the Himalayas. The Western Ghats especially is very rich in biodiversity because of its unique habitats and high intensity. But Western Ghats, like other parts of the country, is subjected to extreme environmental degradation, habitat modification, habitat fragmentation, and language changes. Especially the southern Western Ghats. One of the major reasons for environmental degradation is the conversion of forest lands for commercial plantations. This is an image from the Munnar region of Idukki district of Kerala. Here the plantations has caused severe habitat fragmentation in the Shola forest. These plantations were established by the British government in the late 1800s and now they are under the Kanandaran Hills plantations. This kind of habitat modifications can have very negative influence on the animals, and there are a lot of studies that also have been done on the animals, but most of the studies were focused on larger animals like elephants and tigers whose home ranges are large. But when it comes to smaller animals like reptiles, especially the lizards, there are only very few studies are done on this aspect. Some studies show that if there are two populations of the same species in the modified and the unmodified habitat, there can be differences in the body condition, morphology, escape behavior, etc. of the lizard in the two different habitats. One study done by Deepak and Vasudevan in 2008 from Wildlife Institute of India has found that the density of the Anamaris spiny lizard Salia anamalayana in Iraviram National Park is almost the same in the modified habitat, that is tea plantations, and the unmodified Shola forest. So it was interesting to find if the tea plantations, which is the modified habitat and was established around 100 years back, if it has an influence on the lizard. So we chose Salia anamalayana as a model organism to study the effect of habitat modification on lizards. With this, I come to my topic, Mundane lizard in a mosaic landscape, the effect of tea plantations on Anamaris spiny lizard. The study was supervised by Dr. C. Ramesh, Dr. Abhijit Das, and Dr. Deepak Pirakan. Salia anamalayana is an endemic agamid lizard of southern Western Ghats, south of Palakkad, Kerala. It is a high elevation species which is found above 1500 meters above mean sea level up to 2500 meters. It is an insectivorous arboreal lizard which is active during the daytime, and also the breeding period of this lizard is in the summer season in the months of March and April. It is a spectacularly ornamented lizard, and it also exhibits sexual dimorphism. The males can be differentiated by their spines in the the dorsal side which extends till the tail. And the females, which are smaller in size, do not have the spines in the dorsal side, and the juveniles can be easily identified because of their smaller size. The aim of the study is to find the effect of habitat modification on morphology, population, and habitat association in the lizard. I come to the objectives. The first objective is to study the effect of modified habitat on body condition, sex ratio, and thermal profiling of the animal spiny lizard. Second objective, to determine the factors influencing density of animal spiny lizard across a disturbance gradient. The third objective is to determine the Basking microhabitat use of the lizard in the modified and the unmodified habitats. And the final objective is to determine the effect of habitat modification on the escape behavior. We have chosen our study area as the Yellowstone National Park and the surrounding Shola forest and the tea plantations. The Yellowstone National Park is very famous for its grassland Shola ecosystem, which is undisturbed and highly protected inside the national park. Outside the national park, there are some Shola forests, which is coming under the territorial division of Mona. These Shola forests are found very close to the tea plantations and are also disturbed. The tea plantations is found in the surrounding areas. So these three are the major habitats we used to be selected for our study. The field survey was conducted from 31st January 2021 to 27th April 2021. Line transit methodology was used to estimate the density of the lizard and diurnal visual encounter surveys for testing other hypotheses. Vegetation sampling was conducted for habitat characterization, and the survey was done from 9 a.m. to 2 in the afternoon because the lizard was found to be more active during this time period and the sighting was also high during this time period. We use the softwares R and distance for statistical analysis. During the visual encounter survey, we sight the lizard, and if this lizard was sighted at a distance more than 5 meters, we used an NB perch height. If it is less than 2 meters, we measure the flight initiation distance, and after that we caught the lizard and did the morphological measurements and also collected the habitat use variables. We all know that the Shola forest and the plantations are very different from the photo itself, but how much are they different? To find that, we did vegetation sampling. We took a plot of 10 by 10 meters, and inside that we counted the number of trees and measured the height and leafage of the trees, and we also took 5 by 5 meter plots, and inside that we measured the number of shrubs and liana, and in 1 by 1 meter we collected data on herb density, grass cover, and litter cover. The data was analyzed using principal component analysis, and it shows that these two habitats are very different because there is no overlap between the two circles in the graph. The tea plants in the plantation were considered as shrubs, and in the tea plantations there were shade trees which were periodically pruned. So the characteristics of the tea plantation was high shrub density and tree pruning, and in the Shola forest was characterized by high canopy cover, high tree number, high herb density, liana number, high grass percentage, and litter percentage. Total we have cited 160 individuals, and out of that 87.5% were adults, 4.4% sub-adults, and 1.3% juveniles. For 6.8% of individuals, we could not identify the age class. The study was conducted during the rainy season of this lizard. Maybe that is one of the reasons for the large sightings of adults. We also compared the sex, and we found that out of 160 individuals, 75% of the individuals were males and only 16.3% of the individuals were females. Using this data, we also calculated the sex ratio, which is defined as the number of females per 100 males. And it is found that the sex ratio is very poor in the modified habitat, that is plantation. It is only 14 females per 100 males. When it comes to Shola coastal plantation, it includes to 33 females per 100 males, and Shola away from the plantation, which is inside the protected area and which is undisturbed, the sex ratio increases to 50 females per 100 males. The sex ratio can be considered as one of the indications for the health of the population. This high sex ratio is good for the population. The male bias sex ratios can cause increased male-male aggressions. And there is one more thing that the study was conducted during the breeding season, and also the males are highly ornamented and larger in size, so there may be chances that the detection probability of the males was high, but we didn't do any study based on that. Even if the detection probability of males was high during this time period, the study was conducted in the same time period in all the three habitats, so the comparison is not affected. Coming to density estimation, which is one of the major objectives of the study. We use line transect methodology for density estimation. We laid 100-meter transects, 35 transects in plantations and 22 transects in Shola forest. We did 3 to 5 temperate replicates in each transect, and the data was analyzed using distance software. This shows the distribution of transects in Shola and plantations. The yellow dot indicates transects in Shola and red dot indicates transects in plantations. The Shola, as mentioned earlier, was classified into Shola coastal plantations and the Shola away from the plantations, and the density was calculated separately for each habitat, and it was found that the density of the lizard is less in plantations, which is the modified habitat, compared to Shola coastal plantations and Shola away from the plantations. The high density of lizards in the Shola coastal plantations might have caused high competition in that area. The reason for low density of the lizard in plantation will be further discussed in the further slides. We also classified plantations according to the proximity to Shola. Plantation which are within 300 meters from Shola and plantations which are 300 to 600 meters from Shola. And it was found that the density is influenced by the proximity to Shola, since the plantations which are close to the Shola have higher density of lizard compared to plantations which are away from the Shola. We also classified plantations based on the presence of shade trees, and it was found that the lizard was found only in plantations with shade trees. So it clearly says there is a preference for shade trees in plantations for the lizard. Coming to the body condition and morphology, we compared the body condition of the males between the habitats, and it was found that the body condition of the males is significantly higher in Shola away from the plantation compared to other two habitats. Body condition is defined as the ratio of mass to snout to wet length. It is an indication of the health of the lizard. When the body condition is high, the lizard is more fatter and it has positive influence on the survival and reproduction of the lizard. When the lizards are in modified habitats, they more often encounter potential predators, and the frequency that they have to flee from the predators will be high. So there will be more consumption of energy, and it can also compromise their foraging. So that could be the reason why the body condition is lower in disturbed habitats. Other than body condition, we also measure the morphological measurements like snout to vent length, head width, head length, trunk length, tail length, etc. And we compare the morphological variables of the males between the habitats, and it was found that there is no much difference in morphology between the habitats. Every time we encounter a lizard, we used to take the body temperature, substrate temperature, and atmospheric temperature of the lizard using a cytometer. It was found that the body temperature of the lizard in plantations is significantly higher compared to the body temperature of the Shola. And it was also found that the atmospheric temperature, substrate temperature, and the body temperature of the lizard while basking is positively correlated. So it can be said that any changes in the atmospheric temperature can have direct influence on the body temperature of the lizard. So in the future, if there comes any changes in atmospheric temperature due to climate change, the lizard will have to adapt to that situation either by behaviorally or other methods. We also measured basking habitat use variables when we encounter lizards. The variables were atmospheric temperature and humidity, canopy cover, perch height, perch surface, height and width of perch tree, substrate,